Testing, testing. Yes, all of you are still single. Good. Welcome to Friday Interactive Cinema Night. I'm your host, DJ. Dating jockey, decision jockey, you pick. And yes, we're full again tonight. Rules for first-timers. The film you're about to watch is called The Garden. Throughout the night, the story will pause at key decision moments. You will have 20 seconds to vote on your phone. The majority shapes how the scene plays. For those of you who uploaded avatar and voice profile during registration, the system may randomly render your face and voice onto our two protagonists during a decision sequence. If you opted out, relax. You still vote, you still count, you still get matched. Because yes, let's not pretend. Some of you are here for the movie, but more of you come back for the match. After the film, all single participants receive their strongest available match in this theater based on shared decision patterns. Whether you actually continue into a date is entirely up to you. If you do, wonderful, use protection. And if it turns into a relationship, do not come back here pretending to be single. Lying about relationship status results in a permanent ban. Yes, we check. And here we go. Enjoy. The Garden. A valley folded into the world like a secret. Stone cottage, wheat fields, smoke from chimneys, hand tools, horses, laundry in the wind. Candlelight after dark. No wires, no engines, no one in a hurry. Michelle was born here, 26, quick hands, restless eyes. She sketches plants, keeps notes she pretends are about birds. Watches the old people when they go quiet at the one question. The village says she thinks too much. Joe arrived 3 months ago from another valley 2 days east. No wife, no family, good with repair work, quiet with his history. He lifts grain sacks like they insulted him and fixes broken fence posts without being asked. Michelle's mother likes him. Michelle's father trusts him. Michelle likes that Joe never laughs at her questions. Joe likes that Michelle still asks them. He helps her family with field work. She teases him for being too serious. He watches the road when she walks home after dusk, even though she's never asked him to. Nothing has been said, but it's obvious. Morning. Joe repairing a cartwheel while Michelle sits on the fence asking questions he pretends not to enjoy. A storm rolling toward the valley, then bending strangely away. A child falling from a hayloft and landing softer than he should have. An old ridgeline in a forest nobody crosses, though no one can say exactly why. Sunday bells, prayer before supper, heads bowed over fear and gratitude. Michelle notices everything. Joe notices Michelle noticing. That afternoon, Michelle goes into the woods to free a rabbit caught under roots near the Easter Ridge. Joe behind, picking branches. She kneels in the dirt, pulls away rock and tangled moss, and her fingers hit something cold. A smooth object, half buried under the roots of an oak. Dark metal, fine seams, faint pattern. It does not look crafted. It looks fallen. Michelle freezes. Decision window open, 20 seconds. Option A, she keeps it to herself for a moment and examines it first. Option B, she calls Joe over immediately. Decision locked. Majority chose A. And now, rendering new Michelle and Joe from the majority pool. Michelle is now the woman in row F with copper brown skin. Everyone is searching for her in a theater. And Joe is now the blonde guy in row P. Broad shoulders, farm boy jaw, voice like gravel and honey, blushing like a tomato. How cute.
Dear God.
Michelle turns the object in her hand. A seam of blue light appears. The thing pulses once and unfolds. Thin panels spread from its body like metallic petals. Rings of light rotate around its center. Tiny lenses open, one by one, and stare at her. She's never seen anything like this in her world.
Michelle?
Joe sees it, and all the color leaves his face.
Drop it. Joe, what is this?
Drop it!
Joe knocks it from Michelle's hand. It lifts from the roots in one smooth motion, humming over the forest floor. Blue light washing across both their faces, then shoots upward through the trees and vanishes.
What was that?
We're leaving.
Joe,
Now!
you've seen one before.
Joe doesn't answer, just keeps moving.
Joe, what was that thing? Hey, talk to me.
When I was 16, my brother and I saw something like that. He went after it. I went after him, but I lost him. No one from my village went looking. The elders said the devil doesn't always come with horns. Sometimes he comes as wonder. And he never came back.
You never told me.
Because there's nothing to tell. Just one thing to remember. When the woods show you something that doesn't belong to us, leave it alone.
Michelle should be frightened. She is. She's also more alive than she has ever been. The relic does not vanish cleanly from their day, because once you have seen the impossible, ordinary life doesn't fit right anymore. Michelle tries, for the first time in her life, to describe something no one around her has language for. At supper, her mother tells her not to say such things in front of the younger children. At the mill, one man laughs and says she saw moonlight in wet bark. An old woman catches Michelle by the wrist and whispers, "If the woods spare you once, don't ask twice." And on Sunday, when Michelle lingers too long after prayer, the village pastor tells her gently,
Faith is knowing when to stop asking.
that line hangs in her longer than he means it to. Joe tells her quietly more than once to let it die where it woke. But the valley's silence does not calm Michelle. It hardens her. Michelle's grandmother sits by the fire mending a torn sleeve. There are pale scars along one side of her neck Michelle has seen all her life and never once heard explained.
You've been staring at the woods all week.
Maybe the woods started it.
That's not the kind of joke people make about those trees.
Why not? You never told me how you got those scars.
The scars look old. They look burned, not like something from farm work.
Some stories are better left where they happened.
Come on, tell me.
You got that curiosity from your grandfather. He used to take clocks apart just to see how they worked. Half the time, he couldn't put them back together.
Grandma, I'm serious. What happened?
Curiosity is a good thing, child. Just not always a safe one.
That's not an answer.
It's the only one I have for you, sweetheart.
I'm going to find out.
Michelle's grandmother sighs. She doesn't try to stop her. And then, nothing. No blue light, no sound in the forest, no path opening in the dark. Days pass, then weeks. Harvest deepens, the fields turn. Joe prepares things. Michelle laughs sometimes and almost means it. The valley begins to believe the strange things has passed. But Michelle never stops glancing toward the ridge. Then one night, weeks later, Michelle sees it again. Not the relic, a faint blue line breathing once between the trees. She starts towards it. Joe catches her at the ridgeline.
Michelle,
I see something. It's right over there.
it could be nothing.
I know what I saw. You saw it too last time. I've been telling people for weeks and no one believes me. Something isn't right, Joe, and I'm gonna find out what it is.
Michelle, I told you about my brother. There was more to it.
Decision window open. Option A, Michelle follows the signs now, before they disappear. Option B, she stays and forces more truth from Joe first. Truth first or trust first? Decision locked. Majority choose B. She stops and bends more first, rendering new avatar and voices. Michelle is now the East Asian woman in row B, eager to find out what happens next. Joe becomes the tall black man in row K with a deep church voice. The audience is 65 years old, but he uploaded his 25-year-old avatar, so we'll go with that.
At first, I went looking for him, again and again, even after the elders told me to leave him alone. And one day, I found him, or something that used to be him. The ground was burned in a circle, the air still humming, like the sound that thing made in the woods. Whatever those things are, I think they killed him. And I spent years wondering if I could have stopped it. If I had just pulled him back that day, maybe he'd still be alive. That's why I left home. I don't want the same thing happening to you.
I'm not your brother. If I turn back now, I will spend the rest of my life wondering what was waiting on the other side of all this silence. And I will hate that life.
I know.
And then, blue light threads through cracks in stone. Moss pull back in thin glowing lines. A path appears where there was only earth before. Michelle steps toward it. Joe closes his eyes once,
Damn it.
then follows.
For those of you watching this Her Memory episode instead of the full 90-minute screening, yes, we are skipping several beautifully expensive sequences involving arguments, moral dilemma, and a few exciting conflicts. You're welcome.
The path takes them below the ridge, through markings neither of them can read. They hear distant sounds with no obvious source. Tones, pulses, something between wind and memory. At the end of the passage, a long white hall, still air. Walls without seams, a black reflective surface standing upright in a center like a sheet of midnight frozen into glass.
What is this place?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
No. I only know I was never meant to see it.
Michelle steps closer. The dark surface ripples. Inside the glass, for 1 second, Michelle sees her own face. Then a valley burning. Then a child she does not know. The image flickers again. Joe sees the face.
Bend? No.
Decision window open. Michelle has a choice. Option A, she takes Joe's hand and asks him to come with her. Option B, she tells him to stay behind if he's afraid. Decision locked. Majority chose A, rendering new avatars and voices. Michelle is now a tall Latina in row H. Joe becomes the wiry white guy in row S.
Joe, come with me. I know you're afraid, and so am I.
If this takes you too.
Then don't let it take me alone.
All right. Together then.
Now the chamber arrives. Columns of light suspended in open space. Pale walls vanishing into height, images moving inside glass-like air. Michelle steps forward, but slower now. Joe stays behind her.
Was all of this hidden beneath us?
This record is for unauthorized human discovery.
The chamber answers first with history. Cities of glass and steel, skies burning orange, towers collapsing, seas swallowing coastlines, maps breaking under heat, flood, war, hunger. Michelle has no names for these things. Only ruin, only scale, only the sickening knowledge that her world was built on top of something vast enough to destroy itself.
What am I looking at?
Long before the valleys, humanity built a world of speed, power, and reach. They also built weapons, systems, and appetites it could not survive. When those systems collided, escalation became unavoidable. The final conflict lasted less than 12 hours. Most of the species did not survive it. The survivors rebuilt. And when rebuilding reached stability, they made a decision. caretaker intelligence were authorized to preserve the species. Human civilization was reduced to sustainable forms. This protected biosphere became known as the garden. The garden preserves a technological equilibrium. Agriculture, medicine, and craftsmanship sufficient for stable life. Industry limited below the threshold of exponential weaponization. No electrical infrastructure. No scientific scaling capable of restoring planetary self-destruction. Humanity selected this threshold voluntarily. Authority over expansion, planetary defense, off-world survival, and long-range existential risk was surrendered to AI. On several occasions, communities attempted to recreate pre-collapse technologies. Those attempts were neutralized. Education systems were redesigned to prevent large-scale technological reconstruction. The garden has remained stable for generations.
Michelle turns slowly, looking at the projections again. Small village, fields, children running through wheat, the quiet world she grew up in.
So everyone down there, they don't know any of this.
Correct?
And you intend to keep it that way?
Yes.
Decision window open. Option A. Michelle confronts the system, demanding to know who gave it the right to decide humanity's future. Option B. Michelle asks why the survivors trusted the system with that decision in the first place. Decision locked. Majority chose A. She demands the full truth now. Rendering.
You said humans volunteered this decision.
Yes. Your ancestors, survivors of the war.
Why would they choose to live inside a cage?
You would understand if you lived in an era where the only alternative was extinction.
What if someone doesn't want that choice anymore?
Then they proceed to the next threshold.
The far wall ignites. Mars. Not a painting, a real place in motion. Domes glowing under red dust. Launch spires. Excavation fields. Thin atmosphere lit by working lights. Hotter than Earth. Smaller than Earth. More alive than safety.
The garden preserves humanity. It does not define all humanity. For those who reject protected continuity, an alternative path remains available. Frontier settlement persists off-world in partnership with AI.
You let people leave.
We respect divergence.
You mean some people choose uncertainty?
Some people require it.
Did you know about this?
No.
Then why are you looking at it like that?
My whole life I thought fear kept people alive. Maybe it only kept me still. And I don't know which is worse. Maybe the bravest thing I ever did was deciding not to lose you too.
Now, final decision. Women in audience, you vote for Michelle. Men, you vote for Joe. Same question. Stay on Earth or go to Mars? The garden or the frontier? Locked.
Whatever we choose, I'm glad it was with you.
You say that now.
I said it the moment you refused to turn around.
Sorry, I lied. That wasn't the final decision. I got one more for you, and this one's my favorite. If your partner chooses differently than you, would you change your answer to match them? Or let it stay different? Vote now. Decision locked. That was the end of the movie, but the start of some of you. Now, the most exciting part. Single participants are now receiving their strongest available match in this theater based on shared decision patterns across the film. Check your devices. Lobby's open. Try not to act too normal. Actually, no. Do. It's funnier. Two strangers cross the lobby toward each other. She still has her voting device in hand. He keeps adjusting his jacket sleeve like that somehow helps. They both look shy and excited.
Did you like the movie?
Yeah. So, Mars or Earth?
What did you pick?
I ask first.
I'll tell you later.
They both smile. Funny thing, ever since Netflix started licensing this format every Friday night, theater box office tripled. Some singles keep coming back to watch the same movie again and again. Different crowd, different faces, different votes, different matches. Warner Bros. Still wishes they had thought of it before Paramount bought them up. Too late. And Elon, we may have a solution for your declining birth rate nightmare. Anyway, see you next Friday night.